Imagine if this became, like, in a couple years, if this became the new style, like, no eyelashes. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This video has been so highly requested and I don't know why I've never made one. Actually, I do know why I've never made one before. Okay, so I get asked all the time, like, how do you apply fake lashes? You know, people always say, like, I get so frustrated when I try to do it. How do you do it all the time? And honestly, guys, like, I think that's one thing that happens a lot of times is like, yeah, like I have a YouTube channel, I make beauty videos, and I play around with makeup, but you know what, guys? Like, I am just an average Joe, just like you guys are. Like, I started exactly where you guys are. I still don't consider myself like a huge makeup guru, or definitely not an eyelash guru, which is why I've never made a video like this before, because I struggle too, and I feel like there's not really one right or wrong way to do it. It's just like anything in makeup, you're gonna have a personal preference, and what may work for me might not work for you. It's kind of just one of those things, you literally just have to keep doing it. Trial and error, play around, see what works best for you. And that's kind of how I've been doing mine. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and show you how I apply my lashes. Maybe you'll pick up a little trick or tip that you can try that it might work for you as well. If some of the things that I do don't work for you, like what I say, guys, is not like the right way to apply them, like this is the best way. Like, this just happens to be the best way for me and how I do it when I apply them. So this one is a thinner band eyelash and this one is a little bit thicker. So I show you how I apply both of those, and yeah, I hope you get some help out of this. Let's get into it. Okay, we're up close and personal, which I do happen to have a cold sore right now. It's like scabbing and on its way out. That sounds so disgusting. So yeah, just getting that out of the way. Comment down below if you are part of the club of the gift that keeps on giving your whole entire life. Alright, so I am going to show you guys how to put on two different types of eyelashes. Now, ones that I wear most often and that I prefer are thinner band ones, which my absolute favorite lashes in the whole entire world are Ardell. I always talk about how these just like apply themselves just because the band is so thin, it's so easy to apply, which that's a little trick. The thinner the band, honestly, the easier it is to apply. So on one eye, I'm going to be putting some Ardell Wispies. They are the 113. They have so many different types of styles and lengths and everything like that. And you can buy them at the drugstore, guys. They're so cheap. And I can get a solid 7 to 8 uses out of these. And on my other eye, I'm gonna go ahead and put on some Pro eyelashes. These are the Bombshell ones. These ones do have a little bit thicker band, which I will show you guys. Okay, so like on the Ardells, I don't know if you can see, but this area right here, it's very thin, it's very flexible. That's what I mean by a thin band. And then if we take a look at the Per lashes, I've worn these before, so you can kind of see that the band is a lot thicker and it's just less moldable. So I guess we'll go ahead and start with the thinner band first. A little thing I like to do sometimes is just kind of wiggle them around, get them nice and pliable. A lot of people like to cut their lashes. If you have kind of a smaller, which you guys probably see I have leftover glue on my eyes from the last time I applied fake lashes. But if you have a smaller eye, you might need to cut. So you can kind of put them before you put any glue over your eye and kind of just see, okay, is it gonna fit? Do I need to cut it? I happen to have kind of a long eye, I guess. So I never cut mine, but if you are gonna cut them, cut from the outside. See how you can tell this is the inside portion of the eyelash because it's shorter, and the shorter portion is what's gonna go on the inside of your eye. If you have to cut on the outer portion, because if you cut in the inner portion, it's gonna look so weird that all of a sudden your lashes are just all long. A natural lash, it's gonna be shorter in the front and then kind of longer on the outside. So yeah, it's just a little quick tip if you're gonna cut. Now my favorite glue to use, again, this whole video is not sponsored at all. I'm just showing you guys what I use on a day-to-day basis and what are my favorites, but I use the Duo brush on adhesive with vitamins. It's clear, it's really easy to apply, and supposedly has vitamins in it, so I don't know, I just feel like it's not as bad for your natural eyelashes. And it has a brush that you can apply it with as well, which makes it so easy. Now, one thing I see a lot of how-to videos say to do is they say to let the glue dry for 30 seconds up to a minute. I never do that. I don't know if it just happens to be the type of glue I use, maybe a preference thing. Like I said in the beginning, I don't really consider myself like an eyelash guru. This is just kind of what works for me. So once I apply it, I'm gonna put it right on my eye, and I'm just getting that on the band. And what I like to do is first with my fingers, I'll take the two ends and I'm going to set it just on top, just to get a rough area of placement. And I kind of like to set it down. See how I set it in the middle first and I'm leaving the ends kind of up to move around. So I am just going to kind of wiggle that. Okay. And I am just kind of pushing them on the edges. Another little trick will be to like lightly lift up. See how I'm like just pushing the eyelashes up? That'll kind of help you see if the band is actually connected to your eyelid. And then I'll also kind of use my fingers to just press down the band as well, make sure it's nice and stuck on there. And that's another little trick, guys, is don't aim for perfection. Like, I never get both of my eyelashes on perfectly every single time. It's one of those things that you are gonna notice the flaws more than anyone else. Like, there'll be times where I'm like in a rush and I do a terrible job of applying my fake lashes. I feel like they look so wonky and people are always like, oh, they look so good. I can't even tell it, you did a bad job. So it's one of those things that you're gonna judge how they look way more harshly than anyone else will even notice type thing. So then what I do is I have some tweezers here that have just a flat tip. And what you wanna do is squeeze the band of the fake lashes and kind of just pinch them onto your natural lash line. That's what's gonna help really make them look natural and not false, I guess. So like, prime example. I don't know if you guys will be able to see, but kind of on my inner corner, I didn't really get the lash band right up to my eyelid. It's kind of just sitting right on top of my lashes, but I'm just gonna go with it and press them on there. As long as they're attached, like I said, I'm not really aiming for perfection here. And there you go. And that happened to be like just work out perfectly. There are times where, you know, I'll have to apply it and it's not going on right. It's not shaping to my eye the way I want it to. You know, maybe I moved it too far inside, so out here is kind of bald and it's all bunched up in the middle, or vice versa if I move it too far outside my eye and it's like the eyelashes start right here rather than right here. There's so many things that you might need to correct, and that's okay. If that happens, just pull the lashes off and reapply the glue and try again. I know this sounds so cheesy and like you're like, that's no help to me right now, but seriously guys, the more you do it, the better you'll get at it. It really is just like anything. Like the first 5, 6, 10 times, you're like, oh my gosh, I suck at this, but just keep doing it and keep trying. If you don't like how it looks, you can always pull it off and try again. So the next thing I do is I will go ahead and apply some mascara. Oh, I just realized I forgot to curl my lashes. So normally I curl my lashes first, and sometimes I apply mascara first. I'll do that on the other eye just so you guys can see. But sometimes I'm in a rush and I don't have time to curl and prep them, so I will just go in when they're not curled, nothing on them, how I did right now. So yeah, now I'm gonna go ahead and just blend in my natural lashes with the falsies with some mascara. I'm gonna use my Rimmel Lash Accelerator mascara. I don't know, in my mind, I just think, okay, well, I don't really care how the mascara makes my lashes look right now because I have the falsies, so I might as well use something that's good for them. And I am just going to, you just want to focus on the base. You don't really want to go all the way up and put mascara on the entire lash just because it's gonna gunk up and you won't be able to use the lashes as many times. But the key is to just kind of wiggle right at the base, right where the fake lashes are meeting your real lashes. And again, this is gonna help make it look like these are your real lashes. Alrighty, so that is it. Like I said, guys, it just happened to have really good luck on camera. It went on smoothly. I didn't have to redo it. I kind of wish it didn't go so smoothly, just so you guys can see, like, I usually don't get it perfect every time. So now I'll go ahead and show you how I do it. Sometimes, like I said, sometimes I will curl my lashes first. And little things like this, guys, it all comes down to preference. Like, everyone's gonna like something different. Maybe it's easier for you, maybe it's harder for you. Play around with it and see if curling them first makes a difference, if applying mascara makes a difference first and helps you kind of see where the false lash is gonna go. And maybe what works for you might not work for me, or vice versa. So yeah, just like any other type of makeup, play around. Everyone's gonna like something different. All right, so I'm just gonna let that dry a little bit. All right, that mascara should be dry, so same deal. I am gonna go ahead and just apply my glue to the band. With thicker bands, you wanna just apply the glue on this side of the band. You don't wanna apply it on top, because where you're gonna actually glue it is on the inside, not the top of it here, if that makes any sense at all. So again, I'm just going to pinch the ends. That way I can have a little more control, and I'm going to set that down and just kind of push in towards my face. That'll kind of help prevent what happened on this lash, where I didn't push far enough, so it just hung on to my lashes rather than my eyelid. Oh my gosh, and this one's actually going pretty smoothly. I swear, guys, I'll have days where I struggle. Okay. So that actually is a pretty good idea of where I want the lash to go. Now again, I'm taking my tweezers and I am just pinching. And I know this is so repetitive. I know I keep saying the same things, but I don't want you guys to get discouraged if it's not going on as easily for you as it is for me, just because, like I said, like, I have practiced so much at this to the point where I just kind of know the area to set the lash down. I've kind of perfected my technique, you know what I mean? So please don't get discouraged watching this, saying like, oh my gosh, she makes it look so easy. Because like I said, in the beginning, it was not like that. And then sometimes also, if you pinch your tweezers together, that can kind of help you push and adjust the band a little bit. So like the inner corner, it was kind of flipped up and poking my eye when I blink. So I'm just taking my finger and just pressing it down, making sure it's securely attached. And then I'm pressing up as well. Don't be afraid to get a little aggressive. Show it who's boss. Oh, another thing to kind of keep in mind also is the more you wear a pair of lashes, the easier it's gonna be to apply. It's a lot harder to apply a fresh pair of lashes that you've never worn before, just because they can be a little stiff. They've been formed to the plastic rather than your eye, whereas when you wear a pair, it's gonna have a little glue on there anyway. It's gonna be a little tackier before you even go to apply more glue, so that's gonna help out a lot. And also, if you had worn them before, they will kind of remold to your eye shape as well. So that's kind of what happened with these. I've worn the pearl ones a couple times, but the first time I applied these, it took me forever just because they were so stiff. Again, that's where the thicker band comes into play. And I don't have another pair of fresh lashes with the thicker bands, so otherwise I would show you guys kind of more what I'm talking about. But anyways, that is the gist of it. That's kind of how I apply my lashes. Hopefully this was helpful to you guys. And if you watched this video and are still struggling, just keep practicing. Every time you do it, you'll get a little better. You'll get a little more idea of, okay, I like this technique better, you know, if I do it this way, you know what I mean? Some people like to go in and apply them directly with tweezers rather than how I do. I take the two ends and apply that way. Play around, you guys, and you'll figure out kind of what works best for you. Thank you guys so much for taking some time out of your day to watch this video. I hope you guys are having a good morning, afternoon, night, whatever time it is right now when you are watching this, and I will catch you in my next video.